is Chantel Girardi from Online Business Marketing. That's the second time that's happened today. So for some reason, when you put your piece of paper on the laptop, it mutes. That's definitely a new thing. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how you can identify your marketing gaps, because every day we wake up, every day we do things in our marketing to get results and to make progress and get more visibility and gain more clients. But how do we actually identify where those gaps are? Because if we knew where those gaps are, we could plug those holes and we could then, improve, optimize, and make our marketing a lot more effective online. So I wanted to create this guide for business owners and marketing managers because they're juggling multiple responsibilities. Everything from email marketing to social media marketing to lead generation to setting up automations. And the reality is that if you don't have a clear strategy and if you don't have the right skills as a business owner or marketing manager, and if you don't have certain qualities or characteristics, your marketing is going to fall short. And you're going to be wasting valuable time and resource, because at the end of the day, time is money. Every day that is going by, if you're doing the same old, and it's not working and you're not getting a result, something needs to change. Whatever got you to the place where you are right now is not going to get you to the place where you want to go. You're going to have to upskill. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to do something that you haven't done before. Okay. And that's scary. And all of you are freaking out, but that's the reality of it. Every time you get better in business, then you get stuck. It means you have to learn something. You've got to challenge yourself. You've got to go to a new level. I always say it's like Donkey Kong. You got Donkey Kong, and he's got to get the bananas and jump over the boxes. And only when he's done all of that, then he can get to the next level. And it's the same as for us as business owners. So this guide is going to help you determine what those gaps are in your marketing so that you can focus on those gaps and start to upskill where you need to be and take action where you need to. Because these are generally critical areas that need actioning. And at the end of the day, it's important that you empower yourself to be able to improve those skills and develop the right mindset and approach to be able to master your marketing, because that is what's going to give you long-term success. And is it then going to be easy? No, it's not, because there'll be something else that's new. There'll be a new trend, a new learning, a new something else, because that's the life of a business owner. So if you don't like it, get a job. And if you don't like being online or doing online marketing and you own a business, then get a job, because you do have to have a certain level of skills and acuity in order to be able to manage your online marketing. So let's have a look. So firstly, why do these marketing gaps happen? Well, if you think about it like a puzzle, right? You've got a puzzle and you've just opened up this box, you've shaken the box, so all the puzzle pieces are loose, and you've thrown it down, and you've got this great idea of this big picture vision of what you want to create. And now you start to put those puzzle pieces together. And some of you are going to grab some colors and put the colors together first. And some of you are going to prefer to go and do the edges first and then fill in the other pieces. At the end of the day, we do what we like to do. we do what we like to do. We do what's easy to do, but we don't necessarily do things the way or in the order that we need to do in order to get the result that we want to get. So when you've got pieces that are out of place, okay, and you can't kind of see the image, if you didn't have the overall box picture to see, you're not going to actually know what you're creating. You've just got a whole jumble of colors and you actually don't know what image you're creating, because you don't have the overall plan, the overall strategy, the overall picture or vision of what you're actually creating if you didn't have the picture of the puzzle that you were creating. So there's potential that's there, but that potential's untapped. And it's the same with your marketing. Now, the thing is that once we get those pieces and we've got the vision, we can start to snap those pieces into place. And once the puzzle is complete, you'll have a clear, cohesive picture. And then your marketing machine will be able to run efficiently. And when every piece is aligned, you'll be able to have this cohesive system which drives your business forward with clarity and with purpose. And clarity is really important, because if you don't know where you're going, how do you know you're going to get there? So it is really important to have that focus, have that key focus of where you're going. And overall purpose as well. Your purpose, your contribution to the world and what you actually want to do. So marketing gaps arise when business owners fail to execute the necessary tasks consistently. So consistency is obviously important. They're lacking in having the required skills, at the end of the day, you might be good in one area, but you might not be good in another area. Or you do not have that cohesive strategy, that actual vision or plan of what you're wanting to create. And then if you don't have the right tactics or the method to be able to do that, that's the other thing. Or if you don't have the right systems in place to be able to do that, that's also going to hold you back. So without qualities like strategic thinking or having adaptability or attention to detail, your marketing plan can actually fall apart. So here are those key strategies again. So number one is my favorite S word, lack of strategy. Everyone says to me, Chantel, how did you get great success in your business? You know, when you had no tech experience, no marketing, you grew a 6-figure business in 5 years with no skills at all. Why? And I go, because everyone else said consistent content, and I said content that converts. Because that's the strategy. A strategy is outcome focused. What's the overall outcome that you're trying to get so that you can work backwards and have a clear plan on how you're going to meet those objectives? Number two is inconsistent execution. And this is where we're talking about consistency. So if you are sporadic, it's going to lead to inconsistent results, which can undermine your overall online marketing. So consistency is absolutely important. And what I just say, if it's not in your diary, it's not going to happen. So if you don't have sales-focused activities in your diary, it's not going to happen. If you don't have marketing-focused activities, it's not going to happen. If you don't have lead generation activities, it's not going to happen. If you don't have scalability things in your diary, it's not going to happen. If you don't have partnerships in it, it's not going to happen. So if it's not in your diary, it's not going to happen. If you wake up and you wing it, it's not going to happen. And we actually work at a much slower, less frisky pace when we do that. So if there's things that you need to do, I'll go into my diary and I'll just block out the whole day and go, right, I need to do more sales-focused activities. From now on, I'm blocking out Tuesdays. I'm not going to do it. Tuesdays are now my sales-focused activities. And of course, then you've got to actually go and do it. So number three is skill deficit. And the reality is that your team and yourself are going to lack in certain specific skills that are needed to execute certain parts of the marketing. So when it comes to certain parts of the marketing, there's going to be parts that you like, parts you don't like, parts you don't even know that you need to do or how to do. And we've got to get better at it, because you're not going to be able to perform without upskilling in that. You've really got two options. You can either outsource it or you can empower yourself to do it. So you can decide if you're in a financial position to be able to do that. For me, if you're not a 6-figure business, you should not be looking at getting a virtual assistant. You should be looking at empowering yourself to be able to do better at it, because else you cannot oversee the virtual assistant in doing it anyway. Cool. And number four is having poor performance tracking. So this is people that never, ever, 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 ever look at their data. They don't look at their results and they don't go, why did I get a good result there? Why didn't I get a good result there? Was it the day? Was it the time? Was it the hashtags? Why, and then reflect on what's working or not working and then look at how they can optimize it. If your head is in the sand and you're not actually looking at your insights, you are literally winging it and you've got no idea what's working or not working. So if it's not in your diary to do that, it's not going to happen. So make sure that you put it in your diary. So straight away, out of those four things, you're going, where are my marketing gaps? Is it strategy? Is it inconsistent execution? Is it skill deficit? Or is it poor performance tracking? I'll give you a little story about skill development. When I started my second business, I was like, it's a software company, an all-in-one marketing company, software. And I was like, I'm just going to get someone to manage that. I'll just get them to do it. It was taking me so long to understand when I was talking with this person, because they were talking and I was going, I don't know what you're saying, because I'm the business owner. I've got no idea about the software. So when you say something, I don't understand it, which means I can't be a good strategist. So I just made a rule with myself. And my rule was I wasn't allowed to watch Netflix unless I watched a 20-minute YouTube video training every single day on what it was. So no Netflix if I didn't do the training on it, so that I could upskill, get familiar with some of the language, so that when I was having these conversations with my software manager, I was able to better understand and work out the potential of that. That saved me a huge amount of time and money in the long run in being able to grow my business. So how do you identify your marketing gaps? Well, firstly, let's go back to that S word. Have you actually clearly defined your strategy? Does it align with your business goals? And does your team have both the skills and the qualities, or yourself have the skills and qualities to be able to execute it? And that includes strategic thinking and problem solving. So something that I've done with my team over the last probably year and a half was if they have a problem, they would always come to me. As we've grown and we've scaled, I realized that that's not a good model because they keep coming to me and they're disturbing me. So now they're not allowed to come to me unless they've got 3 possible solutions, including choosing one that they think is their favorite and telling me why. Guess what? By the time they've done that, they never come to me because they've solved the problem on their own. So encourage problem solving skills for yourself and for others, so that you can actually get better at. Believe it or not, it is actually a learned skill. And we've got no excuses anymore with ChatGPT and Google and YouTube. It's just absolutely no excuse anymore. So if you don't have a strategy, you're going to lack in focus and direction, and you're not going to have a cohesive plan. And this is an absolutely critical gap in your marketing if you don't have it. What I like to do is a massive brain dump on a whiteboard where I'll go in and I'll put everything out on the whiteboard and I'll go, here are all my income opportunities. This is my ideal client. This is what they'll buy from me. And then I look at how I can take that brain dump and put it into the straightest line I can. And that will give me my overall strategy. So number 2 is assessing your content creation and your SEO. So at the end of the day, I mean, it is your content creation, but we have to be aware of the words that your customers are using to search online. If we understand who your ideal clients are, the pain and problem that they go through, and we understand the words that they're using, or use platforms like answerthepublic.com, we can create an effective content marketing strategy. Now, a lot of clients that come to me have heard about marketing pillars before, and they'll say, do you do marketing pillars? And I go, no, I don't. I actually like to do the 21 content marketing ideas, because once you know who your audience is, and once you know what their pain and their problem is and what you offer them, your niche and your point of difference and your key message, then as soon as you've got the 21 content plan, you can simply plug and play and put that in. And I believe that it's a much easier method for business owners and marketing managers to follow than the pillars. But if you have a look, there's actually a lot of crossover between the two of them. So when it comes to content creation, you've got to have strong writing skills. Okay, you've got to be able to clearly communicate what you do to a stranger. So you can't use your big jargon words. You've got to be able to have design elements, and you've got to be able to tell stories. And if these are the skills that you're lacking, well, then you're not going to be able to drive traffic and convert leads, right? So we have to get better at effective communication of what we do to a stranger. So if your content strategy is inconsistent, if it lacks focus, if it fails to engage your audience and talk to them in their language, you're going to need to upskill. You're going to need to develop your qualities in that area. You need to improve your creativity, your key messaging, and your communication skills. So number 3 then is your lead generation strategies. And again, it's not just about content, it's about content that converts. And that is proactive lead generation strategy. The more leads that you can get from the right person, the more likely you are to nurture them into buying your stuff. So this is a major thing, because most businesses, when they come to me, they do not have multiple proactive lead generation strategies. So what lead generation strategies can you utilize for your business? How are you going to manage those end-to-end funnels? Do you know how to create nurture sequences through email marketing? And do you know how to convert those leads into sales? So if you're not actively generating and nurturing leads, this is a gap that both requires strategy, skill enhancement, creativity, problem solving, and qualities such as persistence and adaptability, so that you can start to improve your conversion rates. Number 4, reviewing your sales funnel. So this is now looking at your sales funnel on guarding prospects into becoming customers. So looking at your CRM, looking at your buying persona and going, how are we taking them from awareness to conversion? And the skills needed for that are obviously being able to do funnels, being able to write copy, reading data, being able to read data and reports, knowing how to go in and optimize your customer journey, and checking who's clicking on what and who's converting so that you can retarget them or follow up on them. So if funnels aren't converting effectively, your leads are dropping off at different stages, and that means you're losing leads. And instead of you going out to social media and trying to convert cold people, it's better for us to actually take and work out how we can actually convert those warm people. So number 5 is then evaluating your social media engagement. So social media is not just about posting content. Posting content is talking to your ideal customers and attracting them to you and training the algorithm. Engagement is around engaging in other people's content or referrals partners' content so that you can build a relationship with them. So it's about encouraging a two-way conversation and showing them that you actually are interested in them and know where to find them online as well. So you need to know how to manage your social media to be able to pitch and to be able to engage in other people's content so that you can have meaningful interactions that then create conversations off of social media. So if you are unable to be able to effectively do this, then it's something that you're going to need to upskill in. I know that I'm working with one of my VAs at the moment on pitching, on sales techniques, on the language that they use, and then the process of following up and engaging and getting them into a conversation so they can get them to book a call. It takes skills. It doesn't just happen. There are processes for this. So number 6 is email marketing, and everyone knows, if you've listened to my content before, that it's my number 1 biggest regret that I didn't do email marketing sooner, because email marketing is one of the most effective tools for nurturing leads that you get from social media. So as you build your email list, understanding how to email market can turn them from prospects into buyers. So you need to understand how the email marketing platform works. You need to know how to segment, how to write copy, how to write campaigns, how to read the analytics. Because if your emails aren't driving results, that means clicks and conversions. You're going to need to learn how to upskill in that particular area so that you can refine your approach. Everything from writing good subject lines to using emojis in your emails, to being able to retarget clicks. So number 7, again, is looking at your analytics. And again, cannot say this enough. If you don't know how to do that on your website, in your emails, on social media, that you are basically just winging it. You've got no idea what's working or not working, or what to spend more energy on, or what to change and adapt. So very, very important for you to go in and look at tools like Google Analytics and be able to interpret some of those results so that you can make data-driven decisions. So if we look at those 6 things right now, out of those marketing gaps, which do you think your marketing gap is sitting at the moment? Is your marketing gap sitting at your overall strategy? You don't have one. Your content creation and SEO, you've never looked at or thought about that. Proactive lead generation strategies and having multiple of them. Is it your sales funnel, being able to go and look at the sales funnel and the buying persona? Is it your social media engagement, mean finding your ideal audience and putting yourself in front of them? Or is it email marketing or reviewing your analytics? All right, so the importance of upskilling and cultivating key qualities. So firstly, you've got to identify what those gaps are. Once you've identified those gaps, you've got to work out what skills or tactics you can take in order to close those gaps. Okay. At the end of the day, you've got to be able to keep your marketing relevant. Okay, so that's continuous learning, the right mindset, because I can tell you right now that often we lose our creativity. Often our mindset goes down the toilet. Often we procrastinate or we get overwhelmed or imposter syndrome steps in. So it's really, really important that we focus on these key areas and go, oh, there you are again. I see you coming, and work out how we can, cultivate these qualities so that we can close those gaps. Number 2 is increasing your efficiency. So having the right skills and the qualities is going to ensure that we can do things more effectively. That means we're going to waste a lot less time. And number 3 is it's going to drive better results, because with skill deficits, it leads to poor performance. With the right qualities, you can ensure that you're consistently overcoming challenges and achieve a better ROI. So if I hadn't gone and upskilled myself in that software so that I could better communicate with the person who I've employed to do it, I would be paying him every single week, and we'd be having frustrating conversations where we weren't actually resolving anything because I couldn't fulfill, we couldn't have proper conversations, not speaking in the same language, if that makes sense. So what do you do about the gaps? Well, number one, get a strategy. So get a comprehensive plan that addresses both the skills and quality gaps, so that your marketing aligns with your business goals and your long-term success. Number two, make sure that you upskill your team and you cultivate the qualities that you need. I always say, put on the cloak of what you want to achieve. So just like Superman, the little nerdy Superman who's not brave at all, he gets into the change room, puts on his cloak and comes out, and suddenly he can fly and talk to girls and, take over the world. It's the same thing. Put on the cloak of what you want to be. When I step into the podcast studio, I put on the cloak of being a podcast presenter. So put on the cloak of being a marketer, put on the cloak of being a business owner, put on the cloak of being successful in business, whatever it is, visualize it and put on that cloak, and then go and empower yourself in those areas. Number three, make sure that you leverage the right tools and automations. And this is not going to Facebook groups and asking strangers what they think you should be using. It's about internally looking at what you've got, what works well together, and then make those decisions together with experts that are familiar with your entire business and strategy, come up with what the right software is to be able to use, and then being able to automate those processes. And the last one is making sure that you've got the right people in the right seats. Very important, because if somebody can upskill, and they get to a point where they can't learn anymore, but they can't fulfill the role, perhaps that person's not in the right seat. All right, so the benefits of closing the gaps. Well, increased ROI, because as I said, time is money. So at the end of the day, if with a well-executed, skill-driven marketing strategy, you'll achieve more conversions, higher engagement, and greater returns. You'll have improved efficiency. And for me, that means a lot less frustration in effectively marketing. Because a team with the right skills will work more effectively, save time, reduce stress, and will bother the business owner less. And then enhance customer engagement. So with optimized content, social media, and email campaigns, your audience is going to be more engaged and they're more likely to convert and stay as customers. And lastly, having a strong brand presence, because if you have a comprehensive plan and a strategy, when you go out online, it's all just going to make sense. So what will happen if you don't fill the marketing gaps? Okay, so if you don't fill the marketing gaps, if you don't go and upskill, and if you don't adopt the qualities needed in order to be able to do this, you're going to lose revenue. You're going to miss out on opportunities. You're not going to convert the leads that you need to be able to convert. You're going to waste all the resources that you have. So you're going to waste your team members because they're there, they want to do it, but they don't have the capabilities to do it. And your marketing is going to be lacking in focus, so it's just going to be diluted. So all the time, money, and energy that you're spending is not going to result. And lastly, and one of the most important thing, is falling behind your competitors. Because what I always say is the one who does marketing best gets the client. And that's the reality of it. Whoever does it best is going to get the client. It's not even got to do with how much money they have or how much staff they've got. It's just who does it best will get it. So if there's two people that do exactly the same thing and they go out online, at the end of the day, the one that has a strategy, the one that is upskilled, the one that is doing funnels and lead generation and empowering themselves, they are the ones that are going to end up getting the customer over you. Because at the end of the day, we are competing. And again, if we're not happy with that, then don't have an online business. If you're not happy doing the online marketing, don't have an online business. Go get a job. All right, so now I'm going to go to our live audience today, and I'm going to take them through a checklist for marketing managers on all the particular tasks that are required in order to create your marketing machine and get it running optimally. You do need to be part of the live audience in order to be able to do that. For the rest of you, you can go on to the free resources tab on the website, which is Online Business Marketing, and you can complete the 2-minute quiz, which is called Identify Your Online Marketing Gaps.